Hare Krishna. Can you hear me okay?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes, we can.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Can somebody put a message saying that we have just started the session?
I'll do it.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadhaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare. So, we are continuing the summary of fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So far, we had done 2 sessions on the summary study of fourth canto. In the first session, we have covered the entire story of Lord Shiva. Rather, the sacrifice performed by Daksha and the pastime of Daksha and Lord Shiva we had covered, and in the last session we had covered the entire story of Dhruva Maharaj. So today what we'll do is we will try and cover chapter 13 till chapter 18 of fourth canto. So wherein we will discuss the story of King Vena and his father King Anga, and part of Prithu Maharaju's story, the pastime of Prithu Maharaj. So bear in mind that we are doing the summary study of fourth canto. So this will be a very quick overview of the chapters. So in the last session, we had completed the story of Dhruva Maharaj. We had seen at the end the golden airplane came and took Dhruva Maharaj along with his mother. Of course, they were separate. They were taken away in 2 separate golden airplanes to Vaikuntha, or the pole star. So at the end of that chapter, it is mentioned that the glories of Dhruva Maharaj were sung by Narada Muni to Prachetas. Then Vidura Vidura became inquisitive and asked to narrate further pastimes, and he asked who were Prachetas. Please explain the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. So in answer to Vidura's question, just 1 second. So in answer to Vidura's question, Maitreya started explaining. So I'm trying to bring up something. Yeah. So, so this is where we will take you to understand the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. So we know, from Krishna, Brahma came. From Brahma, Swayambhu Manu and his wife Shatarupa. They both came. They had 3 daughters and 2 sons. We completed the pastimes, the activities of the 3 daughters. And we have also completed the story of Uttanapada in the last session. Uttanapad had 2 wives, and wherein we discussed the story of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, he had 2 wives, Brahmi and Ila, and through Ila, he begot a son named Utkala and a daughter. Utkala was the eldest son of Dhruva Maharaj. Through Brahmi, so he had 2 sons, Kalpa and Vatsara. So when Dhruva Maharaj went back to Godhead, the eldest son, Utkala, was supposed to be enthroned. However, he was completely unattached to any material things. Just like Jada Bharat. He was an exalted devotee of the Lord, but acted as if he were a fool, number 1, so that nobody disturbs him. He was a Mahabhagavat, Utkala, the eldest son of Dhruva Maharaj. So he is not at all interested to become a king at all. Rather, he acted as if he were a fool. So, seeing the situation, the saintly persons enthroned the younger son of Dhruva Maharaj, Vatsara, whose name was Vatsara. And so in that Vatsara got married to Swarviti, and you can see she had 6 sons. So in this lineage of Vatsara, there was Utkala never got married though. The eldest son never got married. But the lineage of Dhruva Maharaj continued through Vatsara, the younger son. So in this lineage, there was a pious king called Anga. Very, very pious king, very noble person. And this Anga had a son named Vena. He was very cruel. Because he was so cruel, King Anga actually left for the forest, and the saintly people decided to kill King Vena just by uttering the high-sounding words. And after death of King Vena, his body was chained, and thereby King Prithu appeared. King Prithu appeared. So Vidura asked further details about this. King Anga was very pious. How come he begot a son, cruel son, King Vena? How can, saintly people kill the king? How is it possible? How King Prithu appeared from the body of King Vena? So further details were requested by Vidura to Maitreya. Maitreya then started narrating. King Anga, he didn't have a child initially. He requested the priests to perform a sacrifice. And while performing the sacrifice, they were offering oblations to please some demigods, but they were not taking part in the oblations. Although they were very high qualified and all the ingredients that were being offered were in a pure state. So then they were wondering, what is the reason? Then they said, "O king, we can't see any fault from your side in this life. But however, there you committed some sinful activity in the past. As a result of that, you do not have a son in this life. But however, we suggest, let us worship the Supreme Lord. Let's perform a sacrifice to please the Supreme Lord instead of other people, other demigods. When the Supreme Lord comes, everybody else also joins." So then, saying that, they performed another sacrifice to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When they offered oblations this time, a wonderful personality came out of that sacrificial fire and came with a golden pot which contained the sweet rice. So that was given to the king. And king, after smelling the payasam or sweet rice, he offered it to his wife, Sunita. So after some time, after eating that sweet rice, she became pregnant and she begot a son. Unfortunately, this son is not is born in the religion. What does it mean? Sunita, the wife of King Anga, was actually daughter of death personified. So this child, he has taken the quality of a grandfather. It is said the child takes the qualities of maternal, side. So yeah, and the girl, if it is a male child, takes the qualities from mother's side, mother's brothers and mother's family basically. And if it is a girl, she will take the qualities from father's side. So this child, Vena, so possesses the qualities of his grandfather and grandfather, who was a death personified. So this person was very cruel and used to just kill his playmates while playing, and used to kill, go on a hunting into the forest and kill animals unnecessarily. So he was so cruel. And his father was an amazing person, very pious king, King Anga. So he tried to correct him in several ways, but there was no use at all. He failed to correct him. Then one, fine day, so he was thinking like this. Actually, no son is better than a bad son. Yeah. Then he thought, bad son is better than a good son. If there is a good son, you become attached to the good son, and you may lose your attention from the path of spirituality. So then he thought, bad son is better than a good son. Saying this, devotees take, every opportunity, every challenge into an opportunity. Then he developed detachment. He could not correct his son. However many ways he tried. So one fine night, he simply left the kingdom. So the citizens, they were in deep agony because he was such a pious king. King Anga was a very pious king. And they looked everywhere and they could not find King Anga anywhere. So then, so there was no ruler. When there was no ruler, what happens? Usually the thieves and rogues flourish. If there is no management, proper administration, and people take advantage. So there were so many disturbances in the kingdom because there was no ruler. So the saintly people then decided to enthrone King Vena, Prince Vena. Yeah, he now becomes a king. Although ministers disagreed, but there was, what can be done? There was no king. Let's try and see what happens. So they took permission of Queen Mother Sunita. And although the ministers did not like her, the saintly people enthroned enthroned Vena. So after becoming king, Vena, he became, puffed off. He's considering himself to be the greatest, and no one is greater than him. Usually, the saintly kings always respect the saintly people. But in this case, it's different. And what he did was, he actually stopped all the religious activities such as performing sacrifices, etc. And the sages, then they had a meeting. And then they decided, let's approach the king and try and correct the king's behavior. And if it doesn't work, we will take further action. So it is our duty as sages to approach and correct him. So then they approached the king and they said to King Vena that you should follow dharma. This is good for you. Otherwise, you will fall down from your royal position. If you don't follow the path of dharma, you will fall down. And the duty of a king is to satisfy Supreme Lord by engaging everyone in their occupational duties. So, when you satisfy the Supreme Lord, everyone, all the demigods are automatically pleased. Follow dharma. If you don't follow dharma, you will fall down from your position. And the duty of king is to engage everyone in the religious activities, thereby please the Supreme Lord. By pleasing the Supreme Lord, you please all the demigods. So King Vena did not take this message. And he said, I am the king. The king is actually the Supreme Lord. He himself thought to be Supreme Lord, King Vena. And actually, your affection to the demigods is like the affection of an unchaste woman. So I am the Supreme Lord, actually. You don't need to worship anyone. You just worship me. He's thinking himself to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, King Vena. So, and he says, yeah. So when he said this way, the sages simply said, kill Vena, kill Vena, kill Vena, kill Vena. That's it. They uttered these high-sounding words. And they destroyed King Vena. Killed Vena, just with the words, uttering words. His mother, Sunita, so she was sorry that her son died, and she preserved the body of King Vena in the oil and preserved in the oil. So after some time, again, there was no king because King Vena died. King Vena's father, Anga, left. After Anga left, King Vena, his son, became king, but he was a cruel person. And sages had to kill him just by uttering the words. Now again, there was no king. And after some time, again, there were so many problems in the country. Thieves and rogues, they were flourishing. So a lot of disturbance in the kingdom was observed because there is no proper ruler. So the sages, they assembled again. They decided that actually, in the lineage of King Anga was very pious. So if we churn the dead body of King Vena, and extract the impure portion that is coming from his mother, Sunita, then we can extract the pure portion that is coming from his father, King Anga. That in those days that they had those kind of techniques. So the sages decided to churn the thighs of the dead body of King Vena. tried to remove the impure portion that was coming from his mother's side. And thereby, when they churned the body, thighs, there is one dwarf person came out whose name was Bahuka. He was blackish, short, with short limbs, large jaws, a flat nose, reddish eyes, and copper-colored hair. So this person became the king of Nishadas. So, and then the sages churned the two arms of King Vena's dead body. So impure portion is gone in the form of this Bahuka. I beg your pardon. So now, after churning the two arms, a male and female couple appeared through this process of churning the two arms of King Vena. The male personality was King Prithu, and female was Archi. Prithu was a partial incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and Archi was partial incarnation of Mother Lakshmi. So the sages were very happy to see. He did not appear as a child. They did not appear as children. They appeared as matured, full-grown adults. So sages were very happy because they are looking for a good king to, after the death of cruel Vena. So they were very happy that Lord himself came in the form of Prithu. And the demigods celebrated Prithu's appearance, and Brahma comes there and looking at the various symbols and various marks on the body of King Prithu, he confirmed that is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. And the sages then coronated King Prithu. After the coronation ceremony, then various demigods came with gifts to present to King Prithu. So Kuvera gave golden royal throne. Varuna gave an umbrella. Vayu, the wind god, gave 2 chamaras. King Indra gave excellent crown. Lord Brahma gave armor made of spiritual knowledge. Saraswati gave transcendental necklace. Lakshmi gave imperishable opulences. Lord Shiva gave him a sword marked with 10 moons. Mother Durga gave a shield marked with 100 moons. Like this, every demigod and other personalities, they came and they were offering various gifts to King Prithu after he got coronated. So what gift can we give to the Lord in this day and age? the best gift that we can give is we can just repeat the holy name of the Lord. So it is said in the scriptures, Harer Nama, Harer Nama Meiva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyataha. In this particular age, known as Kali, there is no other mantra other than Harinam, 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 name of Lord Hari's name, other than Lord Hari's name, nothing else. So we can simply repeat that and offer that as a gift. 1 second, please. Okay. So later, there were professional boards, and then they were praising Prithu, King Prithu. The professional, yeah, you can say professional reciters or professional praisers. So they are called Sutha, Magadha, and Vandi. They were praising Prithu Maharaj for his wonderful qualities. He had not displayed any qualities yet. He was just born. After his birth, immediately he was coronated. And then these people were glorifying him, praising him of his good qualities, how great he is, etc. Then if someone praises, we feel so happy. It sounds like a wonderful music to our ears. But here, how did King Prithu receive the praises? And he says that I am not displaying these qualities, so your words should not go in vain. So, glorify me in the future when I exhibit the qualities, not now. When I exhibit, you can glorify. I have not exhibited any qualities. Why are you glorifying me? And praise is actually, if I don't have that quality, you are praising me, then that is an insult actually. Actually, Supreme Lord should be praised, not other people. Also, if you want to really praise me, then praise me when I develop these qualities, when I demonstrate these qualities. And that too, praise me in my absence, not in front of me. So, but however, the saintly people there encouraged these professional boards, Sutha, Magadha, and Vandis, and asked them to praise Prithu Maharaj. And so these, Sutha, Magadha, and Vandis, they started to praise furthermore, even though Prithu Maharaj said, don't praise him, but they got the permission of the sages present there. And then they started to glorify. We have a taste for glorifying your activities. And in addition, we have also been encouraged by the sages. So King Prithu, you will be the best among followers of Dharma. And you will engage everyone in following Dharma. You will give protection to Dharma, and you will chastise those who oppose Dharma. And then he was compared, and it is said, oh dear King Prithu, you will act like different demigods. These different demigods are, they manage the universal affairs. So Surya will, sun god will give the light and heat, and the wind god will give blows the wind, and like that each demigod has its own function. Indra will produce rains, um, Chandra, the king, moon, from moonshine, all the vegetables and fruit gets the necessary vitamins and medicinal properties. Like that, every demigod has a function. So Prutu, they were telling that you will act like a different demigod. So you are very tolerant like Mother Earth, and you are like sun god. Sun god operates the water, and then it distributes in the form of rain. So you collect taxes and you will distribute the money across the poor or when needed. Like that. So they compared King Prutu to each demigod, and then they described the qualities of demigod, saying that you are kind to everybody, you are respectful to everyone, you protect every living entity, you render service to elders, you respect saintly people, and you treat other women as your own mother, and you act as a servant of the devotees of the Lord, and you punish the wicked. Like that, they praised King Prithu. And then later, they started to offer some predictions what would happen in the future. And they were saying that you will travel in your chariot, both on earth and in the sky and on heaven, and all kings and demigods will offer you presentations, and then they said you will also transform Mother Earth into cow, and you milk that cow to get the necessary ingredients out of this Mother Earth, and you will be terrifying the thieves. All demonic rogues and thieves will hide themselves when they see you, and you will perform 100 horse sacrifices. You will also meet Kumaras, and especially Sanat Kumara. And so this way, they praised King Prithu after the coronation ceremony. So then, obviously, after that, King Prithu, he offered various gifts to all kinds of people present there and satisfied them. And our Vidura, he asked a number of questions, because there were predictions, you see, about king. So he just was, inquiring and about them and asking Maitreya to elaborate them. So Vidura's questions to Maitreya about Prithu: why did the earth take the form of a cow? Who became the calf? And what was the milking pot while Prithu was milking the earth? How did Prithu make the uneven earth flat? Why did Indra steal the sacrificial horse? And how did King Prithu meet Sanat Kumara? Says, please narrate all the glorious topics of King Prithu which are very pleasing to hear and produce all good fortune. When we hear the pastimes of saintly kings and saintly devotees, it produces all good qualities, all good fortune. This is like performing a big sacrifice, much better than performing any sacrifice. I usually recommend to people, rather than doing any fire sacrifice, you should just read Bhagavatam. That is the best method for obtaining purification and any good fortune. So Maitreya started to narrate. So after he became king, then the citizens approached Prithu Maharaj, and they said to the king, we are actually starving due to scarcity of food grains. Please, do something. We are in great hunger because there is scarcity of food grains. And please, it's your duty as a king to satisfy our hunger and also find out the root cause for this. So King Prithu thought for a while and then decided the root cause was that Mother Earth was not producing enough grains, not producing sufficient food grains. That is the reason why people are starving due to short supply of food. So Prithu became angry at Earth, and he took up his bow and arrow and he pointed at Mother Earth. Mother Earth trembled out of fear and, taking the form of a cow, ran away like a deer pursued by a hunter. And Prithu Maharaj chased Mother Earth, and she could not escape. In the sky, on the land, in the mountains, wherever Mother Earth went, she could see Prithu Maharaj coming towards her with the bow and an arrow. So the earth was helpless, and then she kind of spoke to Prithu Maharaj. You are a knower of religious principles, and you offer shelter to the surrendered souls. I am a poor person. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you chasing me? And King Prithu was like, you disobeyed my orders. You are not giving sufficient food grains, although you've accepted the share in the sacrifices, but you're not produced enough food grains. And so that's the reason you are punishable. You do not deliver the seeds of plants formerly created by Brahma. So that's why you are punishable. So the earth then tried to satisfy Prithu Maharaj, saying that I have hidden all the seeds and herbs in me because they are currently being used by non-devotees. And also I was ruled by evil kings like your father, King Vena. So that's why I have hidden all these seeds and herbs in me. So what you can do is you can take the seeds out, all the grains. Grain seeds have been stored within me for a long time. Therefore, you should immediately retrieve them by the standard method. mm, Um, uh, and that way you can get the benefit. mm. And also, Mother Earth says that please also level me, so that the rainwater coming by Indra, Indra's grace will remain on the surface even after the rainy season has passed. This will keep the earth always moist. So, the Mother Earth in the form of cow mentioned that I've hidden because hidden the seeds and the herbs in me because they're being used by the non-devotees. And also, I was ruled by impious king like your father Vena. So please take them out and also please level me. So Prithu, after hearing, he was very happy, and you know, then uh, he 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 made Swayambhu Manu. He transformed Swayambhu Manu into calf and used his hands as pot, and he milked. Thereby, he obtained herbs and grains, and different people extracted different things from earth. Say, for example, sages transformed Bruhaspati into cow and census into pot and extracted Vedic hymns. Demigods, they transformed Indra into calf, and then they extracted Soma, the nectar, into the golden pot. So this way, various people have extracted various things that are necessary for them through this process. The earth supplied everyone what they want. In this way, King Prithu and all others created different types of cows and milked out their respective desirables. Thus, planet Earth supplied everyone their respective food. And Prithu considered Mother Earth as his own daughter, and he developed very much attraction, great attraction towards Mother Earth. And after that, powerful King Prithu made the earth almost flat by breaking up the hills with the strength of his bow. For all the citizens of the state, King Prithu was he was as good as a father, and supplied proper subsistence and made suitable residences on the earth. And he created various cities and villages on the earth planet. So we'll have to stop here. We have completed chapters 13 to 18, and the rest of the story, I think we'll have to spend a little more time to finish Prithu story. So in summary, what we have discussed today, after Dhruva Maharaj had ascended to the pole star, his younger son Vatsara became the king, because the eldest son Utkala was not interested in ruling the kingdom at all. He acted as if he were a mad person, because he was very elevated in his spiritual consciousness. He didn't want to be entangled in any of the material dealings. So Vatsara, his second son, became the king. And in that lineage, and Utkala never got married, the first son. And so in the lineage of Vatsara, there was a pious king named Anga, King Anga, and who had a cruel son named Vena. He got the qualities of his grandfather, death personified. So he was very cruel and used to kill animals unnecessarily, and friends while playing also used to kill them. King Anga tried to correct him in many ways, but however, there was no success. And he decided that, actually no son is better than a bad son. But later he thought, a bad son is better than a good son. At least, bad son, through bad son, you develop detachment. So he was taking advantage of the situation here. So thinking like that, one fine night, he left the kingdom, went to the forest. Citizens were very sorry that the king had left, and they loved him like a father. And they try and find out, king's whereabouts, but they couldn't. And after that, because there was no king, there were rogues and thieves were flourishing the kingdom. Therefore, the sages got together, and with the permission of Queen Mother Sunita, they made Vena. They enthroned Vena, cruel Vena. Although the ministers disagreed because there was no king at all. So sages thought, let's give it a try. But he became very proud, and he was cruel as usual, and he stopped all the ritualistic performances, and he actually asked them to worship him rather than the Supreme Lord. The sages tried to correct him, and the King Vena didn't listen, didn't follow. And rather he said, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should worship me. You need not to worship any other demigod, any person. So the sages decided to kill Vena just by uttering the words. And after killing Vena, Mother Sunita, his mother, was sorry, and she preserved his body. And because there was no king, again, there were so many disturbances in the kingdom. So the sages were thinking what to do. And they decided that, this dead body is still preserved, Vena's dead body. We should do something. We should take out the impure portion, and then from the pure portion, we can actually, extract some other wonderful personality. So initially, they churned the thighs of this dead body of King Vena. Thereby, one dwarf man came, whose name was Bauka, who became the king of the Nishadas. And because the impure portion is lost now, they again churned the two arms of King Vena's dead body. And through this process, King Prithu and Mother Archi were born. King Prithu was partial incarnation of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, and Mother Archi was partial representation of Mother Lakshmi. And there was a great celebration. They were born as full-grown youth. The sages were so happy. Now, they have a wonderful personality. They were looking for a good king after King Anga left the kingdom. They were extremely happy. And Brahma came, and Brahma also confirmed, looking at the marks and various symbols on the body of King Prithu. He confirmed, yes, this is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. And they coronated King Prithu. And after that, various great personalities, demigods came and offered him gifts. And the professional reciters, they offered praises. But King Prithu did not accept those praises, saying that, if you want to praise when I develop these qualities. That too, you should praise in my absence, not in front of me. But ideally, you should praise the Supreme Lord like that. So he did not really accept them. But however, the saintly people encouraged the professional reciters, and they glorified, and they continue to glorify Prithu. And they also made some predictions that you would extract the earth in the form of cow, and levels the planet Earth, performs our sacrifice, and various things. They mentioned various predictions. And after that, Vidura further asked, to explain how King Prithu extracted various ingredients from Mother Earth in the form of cow. Later, everybody departed. Later, citizens came and they begged. They presented their case. We are starving due to insufficient food grains. You're like our father. You please do something to rectify the matter. And King Prithu knew the root cause is that Mother Earth was not producing enough food grains, and he became angry, tried to chastise Mother Earth. Mother Earth took the form of a cow and started running here and there, but wherever she went, Prithu was following her. And eventually, Mother Earth agreed to give the grains and herbs back. The reason she presented was that because the herbs and grains were being used by non-devotees, and King Vena was very cruel. So that's why she did not want to give that time the enough food grains and herbs. So later, Prithu extracted the herbs and grains and other personalities also. Whatever they want, they extracted from this planet Earth in the form of cow. Prithu treated Mother Earth as his own daughter, and he acted as if he was the father of every subject in the kingdom, and he leveled Mother Earth, and almost leveled, and then he constructed cities and villages on the planet Earth. So that's where we'll stop here today, and we will try and continue next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for your time.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Someone is actually helping to, remember it's been such a while.
Yeah. So it's always good to understand the basic, once we read, we forget, easily we forget. So it's good to have this these sessions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Only thing is, I have to read all 6 chapters to. That's okay. It also helps me. Hare Krishna.